All right, we're live. How's everybody doing? Hope that you had a great weekend. So, for those of you who haven't been here before, welcome. My name is Mike. On my channel, I am an aspiring professional artist, which means I'm not a professional yet. So I will be giving advice and things like that, but take it with a grain of salt for now until I become a professional. Pumpkin Pie, how's it going? It's good to see you. I know that I know it was a little bit of a wait. I apologize for that. I appreciate you jumping on because I know it's late where you are. But yeah, hey Ellie, how's it going? Welcome everybody, welcome. I appreciate all y'all for hanging out with me. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to join yesterday or to do a live stream yesterday. I ended up being sick. If you're on my Discord, you would have known. But my head was not okay yesterday, and I didn't want to push myself. I felt better probably around like 1 or 2, but I get migraines, so I just didn't want to push myself and get another migraine. But yeah, so today will be a shorter stream in light of that too. Again, I don't want to push myself too hard today. I do have to work in just a few hours. So we'll just do some gesture drawing for maybe like 30 to 45 minutes. I am pretty comfortable with gesture drawing and will be giving some tips and advice and stuff like that. If you want to join a art Discord, if you're having trouble finding one that's supportive, join my Discord. The link should be in the description. We have a great group of people. People give really good feedback on stuff, and everybody's super supportive and helpful. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Yeah, I appreciate that, Pumpkin Pie. All right, so let's get going here. So for those of you who want to become character artists, gesture drawing is probably the thing that I would recommend the most for warming up. Had a lot of allergies. Oh, I bet. Oh, wait a second. I messed this up. My apologies. I only gave myself 30 seconds. Let's go back and do custom. Load. Warm up. Nope. Speed stream. Don't need 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's do. Sorry about this. A little, just forgot. A little rusty, I guess. We're gonna do 15 gestures today. Let's do a small break. That up. Yeah, we'll do 15, so it'll be about a little over 30 minutes. Alright. Are you feeling a little bit better today, Ellie? With your allergies? I know some days are worse than others. I didn't really start having problems with allergies until I turned about like 25 or so. Just, I don't know if it was because I spent so much time outside that maybe I just kind of got used to where I was before. And then when I moved, it became more of an issue. I don't know what that was, but yeah, allergies can knock you on your butt, man. Man, starting off the stream with one of my favorite songs, and I didn't even put this one on. Like, immediately gotten me into Okay, well that's good. That's good. Like, for whatever reason, this particular song just like just gets me directly into the zone. I think it's because it's one of the first ones that I had when I was starting to do my like manga and stuff. So my plan is I'm almost finally finished with the illustration of the Ice Wizard character that we had. After I finish that, I'm gonna post my art on ArtStation, and then after I've done that, we'll start with another character, maybe something that's a little bit more of a like a beast-like character or like a creature-like character. And we'll do that live stream or on the stream as well. And that's going to be a struggle and something that I recommend that you watch, just because like you can see me struggling with it, but maybe hold off on feeling like you're gonna here, let me do this. Feeling like you're gonna get a ton out of it as far as like instructional content, just because it'll be one of the first like creature designs that I've done. But it's something that you have to get used to if you're going to do character design of any kind. Yo! Sea Pig, how's it going, man? I was literally, to be honest with you, I know this is going to sound weird, I was literally just thinking about messaging you and checking in on how you were doing. Hope everything's going well, man. It's good to see you on the stream. You're so fast, because for me, poses take me like more than 1 minute or more to draw a pose. I mean, difficult pose. I mean, standing poses are at least simpler. I mean, I'm taking 2 minutes for these. But thank you. I've done. I honestly wish I could calculate how many gestures I've actually done. It has to be in the thousands. Like, easily. I'm doing good too. Same thing. I'll have to show you. I'm pretty proud. I've been working on my shading and values the past like month pretty hard. So like, instead of like when I'm getting ready to go to bed at night, I'll typically do some like gestures and stuff before I go to sleep. Instead of doing that, I've been just practicing my shading, and it's helped out quite a bit. Like the illustration that I've been doing for that Ice Wizard character that I kind of created, or I'm gonna call her a witch because she's a witch, but the Ice Witch character that I have, it's probably my best illustration thus far, in regards to like shading and things. I'm pretty happy with it. There's an issue with this one, and that is that this isn't tilted far enough forward, so I'm gonna fix that. Yeah, you do a really good job with your values. I've been looking on your Instagram, and all of your portraits are so good. You do such a good job. Really nice structure with all of them, and the values always come out really great. Yep, stay hydrated. Definitely have to. Okay, not a problem, Ellie. I appreciate you hanging out. Come back when you're ready. Um, but yeah, there's this guy that I actually used some of his courses on Udemy before I even started with Mark's courses. Um, I was learning how to do like gesture drawing and stuff from him, and he started up a YouTube channel relatively recently. I'm sure it's to like promote some of his paid content, but uh, he he talks about shading and stuff, and it was just something that just instantly changed, like in a positive way, my art. And he was talking about the usage of like he does everything traditionally, but he only uses or he teaches to use just a few different values in an effort to really separate your lights from your darks. His head is a little wonky. So what I did was is I created a custom like palette, like color palette on here that only has 5 values, and that's improved my separation of stuff quite a bit. Oh, those are old. Well, that's impressive. They look great. Yeah, it dramatically like improved. The two-tone is most valuable. Yeah. And then like what I do too is like I'll only use those, and I don't like start color picking or anything too. Sorry, Pumpkin Pie. You said what do you mean? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you were referring to me or to CPIG. Nice. Yeah, I mean he was teaching like just like the separation. That's probably what I don't know exactly what two-tone study is. I'm sure it's just like literally you take two tones and you study and see where the separation of lights and darks are, because it's like there's a line of separation between the two. But he teaches it that way, and also like really simplifies like more complex things like bounce light and stuff like that too. And how like your bounce light should almost never be, or I think it's never should be as bright as anything on the bright side. It was just really helpful. It helped me out a lot. But I'll definitely be trying to like absorb quite a bit more information on tones as I continuously perfect, yep, continuously work towards improving my shading. I'm one of those people that like if I can make educated guesses on things a lot of the times, but if I'm not 100% sure about something, I don't like to talk about it. Like I'm always like, I'm not sure if this is right. Oh, that would be great. I don't like shading except pencil, since pencil is just so relaxed. I mean, pencil shadings, and that's what the guy does that I watch. He only has like 4 or 5 different like colored pencils that he uses. I mean, and they're not even, sorry, they're just regular pencils, but different like shadings. But the the pencil work that he does is absolutely beautiful. It's some of the best shading I've actually ever witnessed. His name is Brent Eiston. He's phenomenal. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that, CPIG. You wanna if you wanna you know, we'll maybe join over like a voice call one day. I would definitely not mind hearing your thoughts on shading, and it's always great to hear other people's perspectives on topics, I feel. Yeah, and I've also noticed like what you're saying, one side is drawing, one side is shading. Like I'm not sure if you were just referring, what was that guy's name? Brent Eiston. I love him. He was literally the first person that I actually started to learn my art from, and I love the way that he breaks down stuff. Like, and he also talks about how like art isn't like a talent, it's a like a skill to be learned, which like breaks apart the mythos that only some people are like born to be artists and some aren't, right? And yeah, there is a little bit of truth, and yeah, no problem. There is a little bit of truth, and like some people are just more naturally gifted at something, right? That's just how life is. Um, but art is one of those things. I love. He always says like in his videos, he's just like, um, the only thing art really is just putting some pigment, like some dirt, basically smearing dirt on a piece of paper, right? And I just love that because it's just such a, I don't know, it's just such a pleasant way of thinking about drawing. Breaks down that like barrier that people have. And it's also like, it's kind of insulting too when people just say like, they just assume that you're just good at art because it's just something that you just have. It's just like, dude, you have any idea how much work I've put into this? Like, I've spent hours upon hours doing gesture drawing, for instance, to be decent at gesture drawing. Um, like, you telling me that it's just this thing that I just happen to have because I was born with it is like almost insulting. Yeah, he does have a YouTube channel now. He doesn't have that many videos. I don't take offense to it, but like it does, like for instance, it was funny. I was talking to my mom about this just recently, and she was like, you know, you're so like she said something along the lines of like, well, you've always just been good at this. Like you haven't even been drawing for that long, and I was like, well, I started drawing like seriously like 6 or 7 years ago. Um, and I was like, so it's taken me a lot of hard work and effort to get to where I am. And she was like, oh, I don't think I realized that. And I didn't take offense to what my mom said, of course, but it was like an interesting conversation because I don't think she had like really realized how hard I've been working to get to the point that I am. And I still have a lot of work to do. Like I still don't think I'm quite like I'm gonna apply for jobs, but I still don't think I'm quite ready for myself to be hired. But we'll see. Maybe a company will think otherwise. I'm pretty hard on myself. That kind of stuff. I agree with you completely. It's almost like an implicit like stereotype that they have about people. It's the same thing with like music. Like of course there's like child prodigies in music, but even they like are putting in a lot of work and effort. Pumpkin pie, I think. Yo, what's up, Coop? Yeah, I'm doing alright. I'm feeling much better today. Um, the key is to focus on your weaknesses, I think. Yeah, I would agree with that. I like doing these live streams where I do gesture drawing, but I know that that's why I've started to do things differently on, like in my spare time or when I'm trying to just like practice something, because at this point, like, I don't know how much more, like, I don't know how much more I'm gonna get out of just doing gesture drawing all the time. But I agree with you completely. Like, I did like that Mark used to say that, like, and he says it in some of his YouTube videos now, where he'll say, like, you have to be like comfortably uncomfortable in your work, because if not, you're not learning anything. I always agree to that. Like, I know that we've talked about Mark's courses at length together, but that is one thing that I highly agree with. He would say, yeah, for like bigger projects, but like in some of his like videos, he talks about like not being uncomfortable, or not being comfortable all the time. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I always maybe took it a different route of, if I'm comfortable, I'm not learning. So maybe I'm like putting my own thought process into it. I think he was trying to also prevent, like, with those statements where he would say like, oh, okay. Like, he has some videos where he talks about burnout, and that conversation I agree with him on. Like, if you're constantly starting like new pieces, and you do like a piece that, for instance, you're not very good at perspective, and the challenge of perspective in that piece is like way above what your skill level actually is, the odds of you finishing that piece are very low, and you're not going to learn anything from it. I mean, I think I'm being a little bit dramatic by saying you're not going to learn anything. That's not true. You would. So he says to like combat that by only, having like doing like 80% of the piece is something that you really understand, versus like 20 or even 30% is stuff that you feel like you need to grow in. I agree with that, but if he said it for something else, like in learning, then I would disagree. Like, you have to be uncomfortable to learn. It's the same thing with like therapy, for instance. If I'm just like having people come in and every session they're comfortable, like I'm doing something wrong, because my job is to literally actively make them a little bit more uncomfortable. I think that's like the core of learning anything, I would assume. Like, you gotta push yourself, if you want to grow. I think I'm gonna do a video about that soon with like comics, and manga. Because one thing, and I think I kind of pulled this from you. I I was so worried about. Wow, I finished that pose really fast. That's crazy. Gives me more time to talk, I guess. But one thing I realized, like when I was talking with you, is that like I think you commented on a live stream once, but I I was like I was like being hard on myself about being too slow in my work. And when you're doing things fast, it's because you already know them. So if you're worried so much about doing things slowly, then you don't challenge yourself to be slower to learn the thing. So you can't get faster at those things, right? And I think that the pressure with like web comics and like manga is that you have to put the content out as quickly as possible. And there's two things that happen with that. One would be like burnout, like you can burn yourself out because you're trying to consistently just put out pieces, and you're not worried about like the quality, which means that you're not going to be happy with those pieces a lot of the time. But the other part is that you're just doing stuff that you think that you know or think that you understand. So there's no room for growth. So I think I might do a video about that soon. Um, just as a warning to people, because I think it stunted my growth actually. Like for instance, like the thing that I've been starting to use more that I was super uncomfortable with, when I was doing my values and stuff and trying to color, was gradient maps. And like doing gradient maps for my last like 2 or 3 pieces has been so nice, and it's improved the quality of my work a lot. Mark would say that, like, even on stream, I remember him saying, and maybe this wasn't a stream that I had with him, but I do recall him saying something along the lines of, like, my YouTube videos are like fast food. They're not, they're not the content that is going to, like, completely change your artwork, right? It's just, like, quick fixes for people that might already have knowledge on specific topics. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. I really do think that a lot of the times, not all of his videos, I think that he does put effort and wants to have some care in his videos, but I do think sometimes his videos are more so a, like a way to further promote like his QBrush site, which is fine because that's what a lot of people do. You kind of combine the different stuff that you're trying to sell to people. It's literally what a business is. Like, I think the most useful video of his of late that I liked, probably within the last year, was his video on like learning new things. He talked about it as like, you know, if you're doing a piece and there is something in the piece that you don't know how to do, that you don't just find a reference to do that one thing, you find multiple references to try to learn how to do that thing in multiple different ways, which I enjoyed and I agree with. Like, if you're just going from piece to piece and you're finding that you're struggling with clothing every single time or values every single time, but you're only doing the values from that specific angle, like finding a reference for that specific angle and that's it, and not trying to learn about, for instance, the 2 tones of the values, then you're kind of doing yourself a bit of a disservice by not like breaking down the material in a way that's going to be manageable for you in the future or beneficial for you in the future. A little bit tall, I think. Have you gotten any commissions as of late? I feel like your art's improved so much, you should be starting to get quite a bit. What's up, Max? I'll be done in just a little bit, buddy. Max, go lay down, bud. I'll be done in a little bit. Go lay down. Get. Go get in your bed. Good boy. Not at the moment. I've just been studying. In a few months, I'm going to be going hard on socials. That's good. Yeah, what's up, Ellie? Once I get a better grasp on color, going to mostly do fill works and less studies. Okay. Colors are difficult, I will say. But it is good that you have a good grasp on your values, because I feel like that's you can make less mistakes. I feel when you have bad values, it's just mistakes on top of mistakes. Yeah, I'm just gonna do gestures today, just because I don't want to push myself too hard. Just since I was not feeling well yesterday. But I think that like maybe this stream and the next will probably be gesture streams, and then maybe after that I'll start another character design. The hard part about colors is figuring out how to use colors to help enhance your work in a way that makes sense, because you can use colors that, for instance, you don't want to use for like a good guy character, you wouldn't want to use like black and red, or like probably not like green and purple, for instance, right? Just stuff like that. You have to be cognizant of what colors actually mean and how they are viewed when you're using them in your pieces, and the psychology of color, but also like the balancing of colors too. Because colors can ruin your painting if you're not careful. Like for instance, if like my last live stream, the character that I was working on, it ended up being pretty good. Like I was happy with that character when it was finished, but I spent a lot of time just trying to figure out, and I still don't think it's great, but just trying to figure out like which colors and stuff I wanted where and how much. Like for instance, some studios really like to use like neon colors, and if you look at their characters, there's a concentration of those very, very high saturation, high brightness colors near specific parts of the characters' bodies that they want you to be looking at. So mostly going to be around the head, and like chest area, unless there's something else that they want you to be viewing, right? Like, for instance, a good example is like bad guy characters in games. They have a specific weakness or something that needs to be targeted. What the like easier games, what do they typically do? And even harder games, I would say, they typically highlight that area for you with color. Um, I think this might be the last one. I'm not sure. We shall see. But yeah, colors are they're not easy. Falling pose. I don't know if I have any falling poses on this specific folder. Hey, we got a sub. Not sure who it was. Maybe I'll be able to see. That's gonna be too small, but welcome. I don't know if you're on stream right now, but if you are, welcome. I appreciate your sub. Thank you for the support. Alright, let's see how many gestures is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep, that was it. I can try to do a falling pose really fast. Let's see. It's a lot. 15 gestures in just a little bit of time. Good practice though. We do something like this. And then Something like that. This is just a bit not quite in the right spot. I wanted it to be that way. Oh yeah, like having like long hair that's like also just like kind of blowing upwards, like a skirt or something. Yep. All right, so let's see our work for today. I will duplicate this layer so it darkens a bit. Yeah, this is a good day's work. Good practice. I actually am happy with every single one of these. Like typically I feel like there's a couple of poses that are a little bit stiff, but not here. I think they all have pretty good flow to them. Yeah, I'm happy with these. I think this is probably the worst one, maybe, but yeah, pretty good. All right, so we'll stop there for today. I know this is a shorter stream, about 40 minutes, but I'm pretty proud of myself. I talked a lot. I was able to actually talk while I was doing this. It's typically not the case, but I appreciate all of y'all for hanging out. But I hope that y'all have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. I don't know when my next stream will be. Definitely. So weekend streams I will try to do Sunday. I'm definitely going to keep doing Monday mornings or early afternoon, just because this is like the biggest lull in my schedule. I might be able to get in a session Wednesday or Thursday of this week. So no, not Thursday. Wednesday probably. But we'll do some more gestures for the next one. It's okay, Ellie. I appreciate you joining at all. I appreciate all of y'all for joining at all. Doesn't matter how long or how short, it just it makes me happy to have people on here. But peace out, C-Pig, Pumpkin Pie, Ellie, Coop, all the people that are just kind of lurking. I hope that y'all enjoyed. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next stream, okay? Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves as you're learning to do this stuff too. And I'll catch you on the next one.